Bye.
Today we're going to have a conversation about my obsession with / terrible relationship with the scale. Because Mr. Tom over here is like super, super excited to weigh, right?
Yeah, it's been good because it's been falling off.
Right. So why don't we start by you explaining how and when you weigh and how that works for you?
Well, probably about 18 times a day. Okay. Well, maybe.
Depends on the day.
It varies. The scale is definitely a trigger for a lot of people. I mean, maybe more so women, as far as the whole body image and weight and
body dysmorphia. Yeah.
But for me, I've had, with the ups and downs over the years on the weight, I know at certain places how I'm going to feel as a whole, although that has proved to be wrong now because it's so much better on carnivore, and has become less about the weight as a whole and more about the health and how I feel. But I still got a freaking thing about the scale. It's kind of fun. I'll get up and weigh in the morning. We have people that come by for work, so I make sure it's deadbolted and nobody can come in, strip down and weigh. And of course, then I'm fasting until at least noon or 1 most days, or a little later. And if I pop home for lunch before I deadbolt the door and I strip down and weigh. And usually it's a pound or 2 lighter if things are going on a trajectory of loss.
What about when you stall out? How's that?
Oh man, it's like, come on, move.
You haven't stalled in a while.
No,
though.
it's been a while.
Like, was it in the middle of month 2?
Yeah,
that you stalled for 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Had to give up cheese.
And long 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was
for me.
Because it went up about 5-6 pounds, but that was the first time that I've never been like, what the hell's going on?
Or like tempted to fall, just throw this in the trash.
Maybe I should have something
away.
to take and shock my body. And this, I just stayed the course.
Yes.
But today, this morning, I got up. My nose is itchy. This morning, I got up and got on the scale, and yesterday I was 297.6. This morning I was 297, and it had to really be 296.9. So I think I got on, I got off, I got on, I got off, and it's still just 297. But anyway, 0. But no matter how many times I got off and off that scale, it wouldn't change. So it's kind of funny because I'm not really troubled by it in any way. I'm just excited because I know that's one of the metrics besides size, health, blood work, and markers and stuff. It's a marker, and it is exciting when you were so damn big and now you feel skinny at 300 pounds. It's like, whoo. Yeah, you're big when you're 300 pounds and you're 297. Should have been 6.0. And should have been 296.999, and I'd have been way happier because then I'd say 2. Because it doesn't matter what it is. I just round. If it says 296.1 or 296.9, which it didn't say, I would be 296. So I just I don't keep track. But I did the day before because I just happened to remember it, and I know, the weight did go down. It just didn't cross the threshold. Anyway.
So what have we learned, boys and girls? So Tom has his own version.
Some people are a little neurotic.
So Tom has his own version of scale obsession. And it somehow is a game, and it's fun, and he does get frustrated when he stalls, for weeks, but otherwise this has been a really solid and steady. And overall, in your past weight loss efforts, even before carnivore, you usually did okay until stalls, and then you'd fall off, which did not happen this time because of how much better you're feeling. But let's talk about my scale obsession, because it's a whole other animal. And
Scary.
I got rid of my scale. Okay. To be fair, I threw my scale in the trash and I was done weighing forever. What are you doing?
Don't tell her, but that was also my scale too. And I couldn't get obsessed.
No.
She threw my scale away too.
It was causing
Actually, it wasn't. It wouldn't weigh me at my
it was
weight.
causing me harm, so it had to go.
Mm-hmm.
So got rid of the scale. I told myself I
Causing
would
me harm when you
never.
get on it.
I know I would never weigh again. And I weighed periodically over the past few years, and I've always been in the 230s, 240s, and it didn't matter. Like the number on the scale meant nothing to me. So like listening to all these testimonials of people saying, "Oh, I lost 2 pounds this month." Well, what does that matter? I was up 10, and I was down 3, and I was over and sideways. Like it had no meaning. But I joined the Steak and Butter Gang, Bella's group.
Great place.
Yeah, a couple of months ago, and they recommended that I do progress pictures every 2 weeks, which I do. And I believe in this so much that I do post them in there, guts and all. But I also weigh every 2 weeks. And I think I'd mostly do it because you are so big on numbers. So I do it because of that. It's like front of mind, not for me, but because of you. But then sometimes, so my weigh-in is this coming Friday. Right now we're on Sunday. So it's almost a week away. But, you know, Tom's over here like, oh, I was 297.0. And I'm like, I wonder what I was. And I get to wondering. And then I start talking about it. And I'm like, well, I probably haven't lost anything. And it gets into this whole spiral. And I'm like, why do we even have a scale? I know why we have a scale. We have a scale for you. But the fact that we have a scale
important.
every once in a while doesn't matter, but it matters. And so I went ahead and got on the scale today. And it was like, whatever. I was down a little, whatever. I don't know.
Another 3 pounds.
It's whatever.
In a week.
So, but that doesn't matter. Like, I can't cling to that. And I step on once and get the hell off. It's like, so overall, and I'm almost to 90 days, and I think I've lost some weight. I don't know. I've lost
12
some.
pounds.
Whatever. But like, it doesn't even matter.
Well, that's a whole nother story for another video.
That's this video, scale obsession.
Well, no,
is
the
this
why
video.
why it held on the weight loss. That's why.
Yeah. But
It's
it
working
doesn't.
now and moving because you made some other changes.
Right. Okay, yeah. We
So
can
in
talk
3
about that
weeks, 12 pounds now. So see, you got on the scale this morning and you were happy to see and almost wouldn't accept it.
Well,
and
I
it's
still
like you-
haven't accepted.
Well, you
That's
should
why we're doing
accept
this
it.
video.
I know, but you should accept it because.
But it doesn't
it's-
matter.
It does matter
There's no
because
meaning.
because
Because
you
why?
know, well, since carnivore,
3
I'm
pounds
pushing,
is like
I know,
if
but
I had
every pound
coat
adds
on.
up. I mean, oh gosh, if you know anything about construction, an all-purpose box of drywall mud's 50 pounds. I'm carrying around less, or I've lost more than that since I've started carnivore. I've lost more than that altogether.
I am
But
having
each
trouble with the
point-
incremental
the
adding
inc-
up.
But those add up,
It
and
doesn't
so
feel like it's going to stay.
But you're
added
not
up. It
quitting.
feels like it's going to go the other way.
you're not quitting, and you're staying the course,
You're
and it's
banging
working.
the tape.
Oh, sorry. So you're staying the course, and it is working, and so it is good to see. And you were frustrated last night because not unhappy for me, but wanting to see yours go. But then this morning, when you walked out, you looked thinner to me, and I'm like, you ought to go away. Just see, so you just know.
So-
And so there is some importance to it in one sense because it has been a while, and you've stayed the course for quite a while, and
Almost
so
90 days.
you know we're not quitting. So it's a legit metric. It plays out a little different, and so for anybody that might be watching this video, and if you're doing it as a couple or friends or what you see other people online, we all have to sort that out.
I just never.
All the metrics are important, but the most important metric is definitely how you feel, changes in your health, mental health, because carnivore definitely improves your mental health.
100%.
Oh my gosh. But with that, it is a metric. Is it my most important metric? It used to be. That's what I started this for, to change that metric. Well, I'm excited about it because it's like, holy shit, I'm under 300 pounds for the first time in maybe 7 years, 8 years. I'm not really sure, honestly. It's been right around there.
He looks tiny to me. He was turned sideways
told
on
me I
the
look
couch
little. I
last
don't look
night, and I
little.
was like, "You're tiny." I'm having a crisis because I'm the same size. Okay,
No.
minus 3 pounds or whatever. But here's what I think. Here's my final thoughts. We said we were going to make this one short and sweet.
Trying to keep him shorter.
Okay, here's my thought.
You know, our second one. Trying to keep him shorter.
We've got such a trend going with our second video.
We do.
I think that if the scale causes you mental harm, as it does me, then you should be very light-hearted with it and
Yep.
either don't weigh at all or weigh only for science and for your husband.
Well,
or
I
mean, we can
figure out how the metric plays in for you individually.
how much it really means. Because if I made it mean more than it means to me right now, I would have quit. If that had been
Right.
the most important thing, it literally has to just be an interesting side note.
It's a piece of the puzzle.
It will happen eventually, but it's a symbol of the results of lots and lots of healing. That's the part that I've had to really work on. And I do every once in a while just get up in my head and start getting frustrated that I don't have 60 plus pounds under my belt yet, or gone from my belt yet. So I think that it's one of the areas where we are the furthest apart in terms of our relationship to a metric. And I just thought it would be important to talk about the fact that if it works for you like it does for Tom, and it's so encouraging, and he's always, just like making it a game.
It's a
game.
an exciting childlike game for me.
And he comes in all excited like a little kid. He's like, guess what? And it's fun, and I celebrate it with him. And I think for me, there's still it brings up, and I have a whole healing protocol that I actually do use. So don't worry, I know what to do. It's just frustrating that it's still layers of it are there, but it brings back. It's like my grade, and I feel like I'm failing, and I hate failing. I'm a good student, and I want to get an A, and so I need to continue working on that, but also not make it my main point. Keep asking, how do I feel? Like Tom said,
And it's not my main point either. It used to be, because it was all about the weight. Because if I lost weight, I'd be better. Now I've just learned so much. It's like, well,
and
yeah,
you're being better, and so the weight is coming off because
Right.
you're healing. So we are both learning too. That's the other thing. But
it is pretty comical.
yeah,
that
it's
her resistant and my
openness. Like, yeah,
obsession.
so goofy. So whatever
You
your
know,
relationship.
Maybe if I fast until
No.
like 7 tomorrow night, it'll drop to 296.9. No, I'm just kidding. I'll eat when I'm
Whatever
hungry.
your relationship with the scale, just try to be self-aware and work with where you are. And if your husband says, why don't you go ahead and weigh, just don't attach any expectations to it. That way you won't be disappointed if it's only 3 pounds.
And may the force of meat be with you.
Woo!